Words alone can't convey the profound pain and crushing feeling arising from the barbaric ZANU-PF bomb in which precious lives were lost and scores injured in Bulawayo. May God bless the victims and favor their families and loved ones as they come to terms with the tragic atrocity. Given the 15th of November 2017 military coup dubbed Operation Restore Legacy, and that General Chiwenga, who led the coup, says the operation is running till July 30 poll, it's mandatory for SADC and AU to investigate the ZANU-PF bomb, as FBI is doing with grenade attack in Ethiopia. It would be irrational, irresponsible and tragic for SADC, AU and UN to isolate their ZANU-PF bomb from the 15th of November military coup or to treat it as a local matter for internal investigation. Claims that the November coup was non-violent are oxymoronic. Coups are by definition violent. Experience around the world has shown that coups beget coups. Unless when they're cured by pivotal regional intervention, as happens in West Africa through ECOWAS, coups in Africa generate a self-propelling spiral of violence, which creates an underlying culture of fear. Since 15 November, Zimbabwe has remained in a coup mode. ZANU-PF has used the threat of military violence as an axe hanging over the nation. Zimbabweans know of deaths, injuries, torture, internal and external displacement of people, property destruction and looting, but no accountability. An untold and deadly footnote to the 15th of November coup is that soldiers randomly and illegally confiscated weapons and ammunition from other security agents or agencies of state, i.e., the CIO and ZRP, whose armory was emptied. The problem is that some 40% of this remains unaccounted for. The possibility of criminal or terrorist use of weapons and ammunition randomly and illegally confiscated by soldiers in the 15th of November coup, poses a clear and present danger in Zimbabwe and the SADC region. The tacit approval of the 2017 coup by SADC and AU has exacerbated that danger. While it would be prejudicial and irresponsible to draw any conclusions about what happened and who was responsible for the ZANU-PF bomb, outside the findings of an internationally credible investigation involving SADC and AU, some facts around the explosion invite questions. Why was ZRP conspicuous by its absence? Will all weapons confiscated in the coup be recovered? Will VIPs who behaved like they knew something was about to happen be arrested? Any links repast reports of grenade at Chiwenga's house and fatal shootings at Ngagwa's house. Since November coup government, army and ZANU-PF officials have openly threatened military violence, if ZANU-PF loses July poll, with no legal penalties. And 5,000 plainclothed soldiers are embedded in polling station communities, with voters' rolls to intimidate villagers to vote ZANU-PF. The bomb tragedy smacks of an inside job, over internally unresolved leadership contestation. Chiramba, who speaks more for Chiwenga than for Ngagwa, said as much, stating that the target was more the electoral process than Ngagwa, who apparently wanted a poll delay. Two odd behaviors point to the view that Ngagwa wanted a poll delay, fearing defeat on the 30th of July, A. His rush to rule out a state of emergency or election postponement when nobody had asked for either, and, B. His Freudian slip that elections are in 6 months on the 31st of December. Ngagwa's delayed gazetting of Chiwenga's duties till 2 weeks ago and Chiwenga's refusal to vacate CDF's office for Philip Valerio Sabandu are bad signs. After the coup, prospects of resolving internal leadership contestation are between slim and none, as the gun now dictates politics. The ZANU-PF bomb is a tragic reminder that the coup government can't be trusted to oversee free, fair and credible elections. The coup is still in progress, dictated by the violence and impunity that have dogged Zimbabwe since 1980 and now posing an existential threat to the country. Ideologically, since Zimbabwe faces an existential threat, with a self-indulgent military clique seeking to capture the republic using tanks, bullets, grenades and bombs to justify that capture, the people should democratically rise up and assert their sovereignty at the polls. Led by Chaiwinga and Ngagwa, the military coup has been long coming, first with barbaric March 2007 bashing of the late Tsvangirai, 2008 poll coup, 2011 assassination of Solomon Mujeru, 2014 expulsion of Joyce Mujeru, 2015 kidnap and murder of Itaid Zamara, and the 15th of November 2017 coup. Victims of the coup from 2007 have been the people, across political and factional divides. This reality has made them to converge and assert their sovereignty. Since 1980, sovereignty has been asserted by the clique behind the coup in the name of ZANU-PF, embedded in the state. Conventional wisdom holds that there are 5 goals of development: economic growth, equity, democracy, stability and sovereignty. The first 4 are impossible to attain without the 5th as an expression not of a clique but of the people. The coup cabal has corrupted all 5. It's a falsification of history to stage a coup and run an election campaign to restore legacy, nearly 40 years after independence. What and whose legacy? The DNA of the coup cabal is that violence dictates politics. One must fit their ZANU-PF to live, and if not, you must die. With about 40 years of Uuru, 64% of the electorate aged between 18 and 49 years, it can't be right for Ngagwa, who's been in politics for 60 years, chief architect and enforcer of the First Republic for 38 years, to even offer himself to lead the Second Republic. It's a shame. In 1994 I had a strategy-changing chat in Nairobi with Ibba Mandeza. I was frustrated the one-party state debate was won in books and lost in politics. ZANU-PF opted for de facto over de jure one-party rule. One needed a Yeltsin to reform it from within. Still I was wrong. I knew in 1994 from the one-party state debate that ZANU-PF could not be reformed from outside its ranks. I've learnt the hard way that it can't be reformed from within, either. The DNA of ZANU-PF stockholders is violence. For example, Edzgukarahandi was a planned genocide. Because the violence-based ZANU-PF is now led by Ngagwa, who's been in politics for 60 years, with Chaiwinga the coup leader and 3 of his army commanders now in cabinet and Politburo, it means AK-47s and grenades are ruling the roost. The coup cabal has no popular support. So, Zimbabwe can only break from the 1980 to 2018 cycle of violence of the First Republic by rejecting Ngagwa, the architect of that violence for 38 years. The Second Republic needs a fresh start with a new generational leader, Nelson Chamisa, Nelson Chamisa, Nelson Chamisa.
Chamisa, 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 my wana, my wana. Chamisa, my wana, Chamisa, my wana. Allez. Chamisa, 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 my wana. Chamisa, 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 my wana, my wana. Chamisa, 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 my wana, my wana. Chamisa, Chamisa.